Yeah, sorry for being slightly on CP time.
1 minute.
I was watching Love Is Blind on Netflix. I didn't even put on any makeup. My hair is like this, but I am wearing my cute little stupid Egyptian dress right now.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers. And this was $30 in Egypt because they lost my luggage and I had nothing to wear. And I bought this and I was like, and I bought another one in green. I don't even know where it is.
Christ's sake, you look like that ISIS chick who was on Shazam, for Christ's sake. We had a whole thing about ISIS on Saturday morning, who was like the female Shazam. Now, she never made the cut to the DC universe.
Who was she? Who played ISIS?
I don't know the broad's name, but
She had
the part.
Her superpower was being able to go to the grocery store without being escorted by a man. So Frank!
Dennis is going to be a few minutes late. He's on his way. I'm sure that he will have had more than one glass of wine, and he will be, his best self.
Assalamu alaikum, Makan.
What? Yes.
Was that $30? That special price just for you?
Just for me. Yeah. So the way it works,
special price,
and no, you're not even joking. The way it works is that they take your wares and they put them up on this counter, and then like the man will look at it, on his computer.
This is too revealing.
And then they give it to you, like they put it to you on a piece of paper, and it's like, I'm not paying that.
Thank you, Autobot. I'll assume that was on the top. That was on the top of your head. You didn't look it up. We'll just give you credit for it. Oh my! Joanna
too much show that you will not be allowed to purchase.
Joanna
Cameron played ISIS.
Who's Joanna Cameron? Was she the mother in?
No idea.
No, she played ISIS on the Shazam Saturday morning.
No, I understand that. But was she the mother on Family Ties?
No. That's Meredith.
That's Meredith Baxter Burney or something like that, right?
Joanna Kearns. Who the hell is that?
Oh, thank you, Judy. They brought her into the comics, and Black Adam had a relationship with. What year was that? Because it wasn't until way later, I don't think.
Early 80s, late 70s. Who knows?
I need to see a picture of ISIS right this moment.
Right this second?
Yeah. I'm going to pull it up.
Pull it.
I can see clavicle. You will be stoned if you wear this outside.
My oldest sister loved ISIS. She loved ISIS. The terrorist organization.
Oh, my God. You know what? She looks so much like a girl from Lynn in L.A. Hold on.
Lindsay Wagner and Linda Carter. That's all you needed in the 70s.
Yeah.
That's
all you needed.
Yes. ISIS chick.
There she is.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad for 1978 or whatever it was.
Yeah, but she didn't show titty, so that's the that's the whole thing.
Look at that shot of the two of them together. That's pretty good for the 70s. The one on the far left. She died a little while ago.
Here's a little heavy metal history. Lindsay Wagner lived next door to Eddie Van Halen, and he couldn't use his 5150 studio after he built it because Lindsay kept on complaining. He eventually ended up buying her house from her.
You talking about Bionic Woman?
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting.
So the Bionic Woman almost cock-blocked all those great Van Halen albums.
Shazam ISIS Hour. Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, she never
died a year or two ago. There were two Shazams, if I'm not mistaken. One guy was a little skinnier, and that guy was more Shazam to me.
This guy.
Yeah, there was two of them.
And then there was this guy who's completely different.
Yeah.
Way too old.
Look at that.
Look at that costume.
Even the greatest American hero thought that was a gay costume.
Totally.
Same creator as 21 Jump Street.
Oh, really?
Really? Is that
Greatest
why
American
you know
hero. Greatest American hero. Ralph Finkley.
Believe it or not.
Wait, who's the little guy? Remember he was like the younger one?
Yes.
Mini Shazam? What was the story?
They drove around in a Winnebago. And this other guy.
What he do, right?
Yeah.
Wow, it's all coming back. Yeah, CBS Saturday morning. It wasn't really a big hit. While everybody was watching HR Puff and stuff, they were trying to come at us with this like ISIS and Shazam, and it didn't really work. Sorry.
Gunga Din. That's
no, she's even Hill.
It is dead. It's crazy. Everyone's dead.
Wait, I think Lindsay Wagner's still alive, isn't she?
I don't know.
I think she is. I don't know.
We can rebuild her.
Yeah, gentlemen, we have the technology.
Yeah.
Who am I? Oscar Madison? No, Oscar.
Oscar Myers. No, was it
Oscar?
Oscar Madison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who am I? Oscar
Yeah.
Madison over
Boys,
here.
boys, let me do an intro.
Oh, bro, you know
Boys, boys.
Well, there's an Aaron Gray reference.
Let me do an intro. So, welcome to Monday, September 25th. And if you guys didn't watch it yesterday, we did a show, Bon and I, about the Trump tweet and also about the Globe article. So, if you want to talk about that, I highly recommend that you go back to last night's show, which was a lot of fun. Bon came out with like a bunch of really stupid like clips because he's like the Fred of our show now, and he just made me laugh out loud. So it was a lot of fun. By popular demand, I am wearing my stupid thing, although I was going to wear a really, really cute pair of pants and little top tonight. But this will have to do. We did the Egyptian gear. You'll probably never see me in this again. So it's okay to have it on for tonight. All right. So lots of stuff. So lots of stuff to go over tonight. We were just really wondering whether or not Howard was going to mention the Trump tweet, and he kind of came out with it kind of this way, but he had to start the show. No, it's called a Galalaba, something like that.
Yeah, you know, some of the private parts. I was thinking about this today. The mantra of, besides "It's all about Allison," was we want to see what he'll say next. The show is now about, ironically, we want to see what he'll avoid next.
Yeah.
We're listening to what he won't say next. We're listening for what he'll avoid. It's the complete 180 of what that is in private parts.
Yes. And the thing is, last night somebody called it and said that he was going to argue with the Trump tapes tonight.
Yeah, of course.
This morning. And he did. I didn't really record that because I really hate to like double down on his stupidity.
There wasn't a tape he argued with, Monique. He argued with a tweet that he only half read.
Yeah.
And then and then in his own guy, he thinks like Gat Girl had this. The return of Gat Girl today, and that mockery thread was great. He never leans into it because he doesn't stand for anything. He does. If he leaned into it and actually believed in those things, we'd be like, okay, this is good passion. But he has no passion. He doesn't believe in anything. He doesn't stand for anything, and that's why he gets trampled like this. Because they know, and Trump knows him as well as we do. He doesn't stand for that.
Well, like I said last night in the show, is that Trump is very much like a scorpion. You know, he knows exactly where to sting and make it hurt. And he tried to, oh my God, I would love to do an Etsy shop on these. Can I tell you that they're so comfortable? I mean, it's like kind of big. This is like a medium, and they're great. They're great for like a bathing suit, and all you need to throw on is like a pair of undies or something underneath it, and you're good to go. It's like breezy, easy breezy. I'm digressing so much from the stupid show. So yeah, go back to that, listen to that show. We're probably just going to do a slight repeat of some of the things we did in last night's show, but it's relevant because it's what he talked about today. But weirdly enough, the way he started the show was bizarre to me. He is like, you know, just like a 14-year-old Taylor Swift stan. And he spent a solid 35 to 40 minutes on Taylor Swift being at the Kansas City game. And
as a 70-year-old father of grandfather is wont to do, right?
Yeah, it was really weird, and I'm not even really sure why it started there, but you know, this is how
70 writers, that's why.
70 writers, this is how the show started. Here we go.
Yes. Taylor Swift fans are very excited about her dating Kelsey, whatever his name, Travis Kelsey. Is that his name from Kansas City?
Yeah,
Intro.
Last night. Yeah, you know he wanted to say Kelsey Grammer, that idiot. He just, you know, he has no idea who the person is, and nor does he care. So of course he brings Richard in to talk about it, and then of course John Hine, because you know he's the number one Taylor Swift fan. So that's I know, it was just disgusting. Honestly, it was just a disgusting 40 minutes of it. So I want to talk really, really quickly about the whole woke thing because I don't even understand it. And quite frankly, brilliantly yesterday we decided to AI Trump so that you can all hear what the tweet actually
This ought to
was.
be pretty
Oh, how
funny.
wonderful.
That's
Is it
funny.
bad?
Yeah, here we go.
The real Howard Stern is a weak, pathetic, and disloyal guy who lost his friends and much of his audience. Until just recently, I haven't heard his name mentioned in years. I did it many times in the good old days, and then he went woke. And nobody cares about him any longer. I don't know what they really pay him, but it shouldn't be much. His influence is gone, and without that, he's got nothing. Just a broken weirdo, unattractive both inside and out, trying like hell to be relevant.
How's that?
Wow, that's
That was-
incredible. If
that
you
is so
didn't tell me that,
poignant.
I would think he recorded that on True Social in the middle of the night.
The beauty of
That's
AI.
not bad.
It's
That's
and you know
really
what?
good.
Then he panics. It's just
So-
it's
Because
wonderful.
the Stern army that no longer exists.
No longer
Nobody
exists.
has his back anymore. He used to be enabled and empowered by the fact that legions of fans would have his back online
Right.
and otherwise, and they're all gone, and he knows that at least.
So Broken Weirdo was something that we
I
all
love Broken Weirdo.
yesterday, which was so funny. So here he is talking about Taylor Swift on clip number 2. He's already like introing to the Taylor Swift thing that he was going into right before you came on, Dennis.
God.
Yeah, so here we go.
Anyway, they're excited about it because Travis Kelce is a real man. Instead of the broken weirdos, artists that she was dating.
Yeah, okay. So you came out with Broken Weirdos all on your own. See, this is why sometimes I think that he does listen to our show because we'll say something like unintellectual or so, intellectually depraved or whatever, and then he'll come out with that the next day.
Yeah.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Only as good as his last conversation. So, the Broken Weirdo thing was something that he clearly heard from the Trump tweet and decided
On the show we cover, I can't believe
he
anybody.
then went on for about 35-40 minutes making believe he was an announcer at the football game and doing all these stupid pun-like
Right.
ridiculous things, but none of it was funny. None of
Right.
it. This is just an example of one, and then we'll come back to it. 1 second.
At the 20, at the 30, at the 40, at the 50, oh my
At the
God, he
60.
made a touchdown. The crowd is on their feet and Taylor is on all fours.
Yeah, so that's what it was
Jesus.
like. But let me
Did you hear? You just said at the 60.
It's so bad.
I swear to God.
But let me read you a couple from Bring Back Jackie so that you can understand where he what I know they are Zuma show. I know they are. And then
Shut up, you stupid weenie. Go away. Go jerk off to Joe Perry guitar solos. Go away. You sound like a real party. Go away.
Well,
I love it.
let me read you a little bit of Bring Back Jackie. We are afraid of that anal at this point. We know Travis loves it. Stern, as a sports announcer, is doing a play-by-play. What if Travis bangs the music out of her? Of course, Bring Back Jackie comes out with fun fact. Today is day 1295 that Howard Stern's avoiding meeting Robin Cruz in person.
Dang.
His cock is at 10, it's at 20, it's at the 30, it's all the way up her pussy, says Howard Stern. Taylor looks like she sat on a landmine, he says, because she's had so much sex with him. Then let's see what else. Hold on 1 second. Travis just gave Taylor the game-winning football. No, I made a mistake. That's his penis. Of course, that's him riffing.
Whoa.
Getting a report that Travis Kelce's Super Bowl ring smelled fishy. That's him doing his play-by-play.
Wow.
If I married her, I wouldn't even have to play football anymore, of course. So yeah, that's how he just kind of kept going on and on about her. And then, of course, somebody calls in.
Mike from New Jersey. Go ahead, Mike.
Buckwald.
If Silverback Abui is not on the phone with the Swift camp right now trying to get this girl in the studio.
Many times we've approached Taylor Swift. Gary's on.
Now because Swifties are concerned that she won't be able to hold a microphone after jerking off that eel that is in Kelsey's pants. So this Argentina fucking trip is in jeopardy. You got to ask the big fucking questions.
We're on it.
Sure you are. Because after what you did today, there's absolutely no shot in hell of Taylor coming on your show.
I mean,
Like there ever
I can't
was.
hear you, Dennis.
Oh, I lowered. You have to bring. You have
Monique,
to
do you
bring
want me
me
to send
back
you the
up.
Taylor Swift clips from the Knicks games?
I
again?
found the setting in my.
We should have those like on standby
I
at all
could send them
times.
to you right now. I have them in my
So-
hard drive.
Yeah, go for it.
So, if you can you hear me now? All right. So, the thing is, it's so bizarre in the way his little mind thinks. He thinks that because he's talking about her and in a comedic kind of way, I'll use air quotes on that, that she'll find it fascinating and want to come on his show because she is number one on that list of people they want.
Oh,
And
it's
after
really-
today, she will never come on the show.
you know,
ever.
I'll be embarrassed for her if she does, but there's
No,
absolutely
she's not.
no good
There-
reason for her to come on.
She's never
There's
been on
nothing
the
for her to
The
promote.
only way she'll ever be on the show if SiriusXM gives her some sort of like channel type
Channel?
of crap. And even then it's
that-
50-50.
Even
Mm.
that, I don't think she'll. No, she has too
No,
much money.
I
and fame.
agree.
She has too
She's
much
too
money
busy.
and fame to
She's
ever
too
come on
busy.
that show.
She doesn't have 3 hours at 6 o'clock in the friggin' morning.
That's right.
Into his
That's right.
stupid show. I think it's asinine to think that.
That's the best
So-
point by you. That time is money.
By
and
the
they
way,
have
Yeah.
no business wasting it on this show.
No.
by the way, I know this is early in the show, and I just want to throw it out there. There's a code drunkie on Instagram right now for you know who's wife. So if we have time later in the show, I would love if we could visit that Instagram reel.
What are we talking about?
What?
A code drunkie.
Oh, well, why don't you pull that in and then we can go back to it.
Now or later?
Whenever you want. You could just
but-
leave it on the bottom there, and I'll get to it
Okey-doke.
when I
This
can.
this whole 40 minutes he spent on Taylor Swift and Kelsey, or whatever his name is.
Shame on you,
Um,
Travis Kelsey, too. Monique, what is
yeah.
this obsession celebrities have? And this is a PR thing to be with other celebrities.
Well,
You know how
maybe
much
they actually
access
like
that
each
guy
other.
has? He's the
tell you
number
why.
one tight
Listen.
end, maybe in the history of the NFL.
I'll tell you
You know
why.
how much access he has? Why do you need the high maintenance bullshit of Tay
Maybe he
Why
likes
do
You know
need that?
why? You know
I
why?
mean-
Because him and his brother have been all Hollywood for the last season or two.
Yeah.
And I
like-
think this is like his way of validating,
it's
his
a pretty good way to
Hollywood
validate it.
status.
I'll
Cachet.
say that.
Well, here's the thing, though, too. I think a lot of actors will tell you that they always get together with other actors
Yes.
because they understand them. They understand the schedules. They understand the relationships with other people. They understand how you need to be,
Right. I'm
in
on
a-
your level, right? You get
Exactly.
me,
They
right?
get the travel, they get the late nights, they get all that stuff. And so I think that's always been the thing, like that you get me. The other complete opposite side of that is the high school or college sweetheart, and then the
Yes.
other side is the trophy wife, and then the other side is the have been with my wife
So-
since I was early in my
And
career.
then Hugh
Look,
Jackman.
Pat Mahomes. Isn't it?
Yes.
'Cause he married his high school sweetheart.
Ooh, what a mistake that was.
Yeah, I know. What a
Oh, she's the
huge
most
mistake that
annoying
was.
freaking
Oops.
person on earth.
Yeah,
she's gonna be
horrible.
very rich when he divorces her.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That will be
Okay, so
happening.
there's a couple of like little tidbits I did want to get to before we kind of continue with the show. I did want to talk really quickly about the thing that we all talked about yesterday, which obviously was this, which we love, this Globe article. And it was delicious that Bond was able to do like a 1 month free subscription so that we could actually get the article before it actually came out on the number one
Is
Bones
that an
Boy.
Australian thing? You gotta
So somebody interestingly had written to me yesterday and said, "Hey, wasn't there a time where one of Trump's best friends was the guy who ran the Globe
just gonna ask
and
you that.
the Inquirer? And was he in fact behind the this article? This kind of like smash article." But I did read that he has been gone from the Globe since 2019 or something like that. But it could be somebody doing a favor. Like, screw it. Let's just get out there and say what we want to say.
But it's still the same infrastructure of the same people where he has like, people that, he's always been trying to control, whether it's the Mike Walker, the National Enquirer, that's Harvey Levin. He has these weird friends and fans all over the media that don't bash him. This is one that's independent of him, I guess. And I don't know who wrote this, but if you connect the dots, we could probably figure it out.
Yeah, there is no byline. So we don't know who who it actually was. But it's really just basically everything we talked about last week and that you guys talked about while I was on vacation. You know, her going away to Paris, her being like freaked out that, you know, he's freaked out about her getting COVID and all that stuff. But meanwhile, he insists that Robin stay home. He's been gaslighting her like crazy.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's just the sickest shit is going on in this show. I don't know what the fulmination of it is going to be, but it's just crazy to me. The other thing I wanted to talk about really, really quickly before we get back into the show is the fact that MarksFriggin.com, as quoted
Adios.
today on our channel, is calling it quits. I
Wow.
loved what he said. I have no love lost for MarksFriggin. He's blocked me for years and years and years, called me a hater, thought we were horrible human beings. Well, I knew this day would come at some point. This was a really tough decision for me to make at the end of this month, September 2023. Thank you, Sunflower Dragon. I will no longer be doing my detailed daily recaps of the Howard Stern Show. Even though I'm stopping with the detailed recaps of the show, I will probably do some kind of very short segment list. I may just copy the segment list from SiriusXM app and keep track of when guests were on or something like that. I really don't know. I'll have to see how much time I'm willing to put into this once I start work again in October. I'll be shutting down the early access patreon.com thing at the end of this month. Why now? There are a few reasons. The biggest reason is money. I need to get back to work full time to pay my bills. I should have shut this down about 8 years ago, but I enjoyed doing it and love the freedom. I had the rest of my day. I started the site because of my love for the Howard Stern Show. That love has become like over the past few years. I can't say I love the show anymore. There are a few things I don't enjoy listening to, and I find myself getting aggravated far too often. I love this. I can't sit and type any more 2-hour-long celebrity interviews. I don't want to type the phrase, Howard answered a knock at the door, ever again. I want to have the freedom to turn the radio off when I hear an awful John Blitt bit.
That's great, right?
I'm not at the point where I'm going to stop listening to the show completely. I still appreciate Howard's interviewing skills. Your interviews, I'd rather not sit through, though. Now I can pick who I want to listen to and who I can turn off. I've forced myself to listen to a few celebrity interviews I wish I could have walked away from. I don't.
I heard there was a GeoCity reference in there too.
Juan is playing the Egyptian music in the background.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Ripper Pumpkin with a
To me
GeoCity.
last night, it killed me. Oh my god. I can't even stop laughing. Oh, I don't want to.
You want me to finish reading it?
I have to.
I don't want to be one of those former Howard Stern fans who bashes the show. I don't hate it. I'm just not as into it as I used to be. I know Howard has evolved. I can appreciate that. It still feels weird even venting about the things I mentioned above. I do think the knock at the door thing is played out. Way too many impersonators with no material, in my opinion. Thank you to everyone who visited the site and supported what I've been doing since 1996. That is dedication.
Wow,
To
that
everyone
is.
who contributed by being a Patreon member or bought something through an advertiser link, thank you so much. You helped keep the site going for 27 plus years. That's half of my life. It's been fun. I doubt Howard will ever read this, but I will thank him for the
He won't.
35 plus years of entertainment. No one else has captured my attention like that guy. What an amazing talent. Fun show. I also have to thank the other staff who I've met over the years when I was invited up to the studio for various things. Everyone's so nice, great experience. Thanks to everyone. I guess I'll close out with my favorite whack packer are the actors. Bye for now. Sincerely, Mark. Well, Mark, as much as I don't like you personally, I think that the MarksFriggin has been a huge archive of anything whenever we've needed to look something up.
So
Can I quote a philosopher? Arrivederci, cocksucker.
exactly. So, here's the thing though. I mean, how many times can you write, door knock? Oh, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. How many times can you, I mean, honestly, the show is so repetitive. There was nothing of note to put in MarksFriggin. Then and he expected people to pay to read about the same thing that happened the day before.
Howard says, Robin says.
Robin
Howard says,
Howard
Howard says, Robin. I mean, that's really the entirety of the show.
And then the door knocking, and then fake whoever there, and then then Ronnie, and then then Ronnie Ronnie said. Howard said.
Why
Ronnie
do
said.
you sound so much better? Oh, Bond came in.
I fixed my. I found another setting in the computer. I hate computers.
Oh.
I hate
You never
men.
touched it. You always say you never touched it. You never touch
I
it.
didn't.
Anything.
I never touched it. That's the thing. I
Mhm.
never touched it.
Mhm.
It literally, I did not touch it. I recorded something from my YouTube channel, but I never touched any
Oh,
setting on the
sure.
computer.
Big fancy pants with his
I'm
YouTube
f-
channel now.
Yeah, I'm fancy
Yeah,
pants. I
sure.
did a recording. Yes.
Sure.
Oh,
There is a
yeah,
great
it's a
story,
voiceover.
and I will get it for tomorrow that happened. Actually, we could read it now. I don't know if you read it. Maybe you can read it tomorrow. MarksFriggin was tapped to do the update for the Stern Show, and it was a great story, and it fell through because what he would do is he would do it like he normally does. He would submit it to the show, and then Jason would take it, and he would do a Howard sort of PR whitewash on it to make Howard the victim and the hero in every scenario, and he would take details out, anything that made Howard look remotely bad. So Mark Mercer would go back and read it, and he would go, "Oh my God, he just butchered my whole update." And so he pulled out, and I don't know if they were ever going to pay him, but Jason hijacked it, and he tells a story about them. It's a really good. I think he lasted for about a week, and Jason was doing like PR spin on his MarksFriggin.
So that's so typical of Jason because he goes and he makes sure he steals things. The only time it actually he got screwed is when Jan Hines stole the whole food thing from him.
Yeah,
that's so fair turnaround.
Well,
Well,
even Geek Time,
Karma.
Dennis.
they
What? He
love
could.
me, Mark's friggin'. Now, John, you just sent me something about Leslie Dart. What is this in relation?
Well, I wanted to show everybody how Howard gets his news stories out there. This high-powered PR publicist who they hired for his horrible Comes Again book with 16 pages of new content. That's how they recently hired him. This is just a few years ago, right before the pandemic.
Mhm.
Power
She's
publicist
a
Leslie
big
Dart.
ass.
Yeah, she's a big ass PR person. On the verge of releasing his highly anticipated first book more than 20 years, it very quietly brought on power publicist Leslie Dart. Yeah. So what she tried to do is she tried to revise his outlook. That's why he did interviews with NPR, CBS Sunday Morning. So they were
He
trying.
did Bill Maher show as we bring Maher up today
Yes.
at her behest.
It was the
That's how he
kind
did his show.
of
Yes.
gentler person, and that's who he tried to make.
And
himself
did Howard ever look stupider than when he was
No.
on Bill Maher?
She made her bones being doing spin for Woody Allen on all the
Oh, really?
papers. Yeah. That was her
That's
original.
right.
That's
Yeah,
how
she
hit.
hired Woody Allen's publicist, to try to fix his image for his book. But the thing is, she should have known what she was working with. She's working with an idiot.
Doesn't matter. She's getting paid to.
I know,
to-
but she really did not help his
Dennis,
cause.
idiots are her stock and trade. That she has
guess
no
so, I
business if
guess
it's for
so.
idiots. You can't do PR if it's not for idiots in Hollywood, right?
That's true, but my
it's-
God.
You don't really need the big shot PR person unless you really need
You
some,
need people.
doing of your personality
yeah.
to make it correct. So let's move on a little bit. So then he started talking just a snurch about Paul Simon, and Robin called him out on it. Here we go.
For about a half hour. I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, half hour. I don't know. Paul and I sat on the couch and we talked. We were having such a good time. I don't think either one of us wanted the morning to end.
That's amazing because they were rushing us off the air because Paul supposedly had another engagement.
Well, he did.
Uh-oh.
He actually had something to do, but
Uh-oh.
we were just having such a good time that
Yes.
I don't know what happened, but we were there. We were doing
So,
Yeah,
so
sure.
you cornered him and
Yes.
did not let him leave. That's what
Exactly.
you did. That's exactly what you did.
And-
You giant praying mantis.
They were calling him Yoda today. They were calling Paul Simon the Yoda of folk rock. Like he's all knowing and wise, and he has all this great advice.
You
Like
know
you
what?
could ever go down that road again. That
We
he
didn't
did.
really talk about it last week, but Paul Simon is so affected. And,
Yeah.
when he was talking and you would hear his voice, he would talk like this. And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're like
He's
this
from
Jewish
Queens.
from Long Island or Queens, whatever.
He's
It's
from
like,
Queens.
where did you
You
get
know where
this
he gets that from,
really
right?
articulated voice like this?
Was it Paul Stanley?
He gets he gets it from Lauren Michaels' dinner parties.
Lauren
They all
Michaels.
talk like that. That's a Lauren Michaels cadence.
It's so weird to me. I don't know. I just think it was.
I mean,
Steve.
So
I mean,
then
'cause-
they start
'cause-
talking about they started talking about like fat Elvis versus regular Elvis. Howard's talking about how
I know what you're gonna say, Dennis. I know.
Did you pull the clip from Robin?
Yeah,
where
I
she
knew.
actually thought in 1968 when Elvis made his comeback, he was big and fat.
Yeah, show Elvis, Monique, fat Elvis, quote unquote, which I've seen. I'm not a huge Elvis
1968, that
guy,
was
but he
thin
ain't that
Elvis.
fat. And put him next to Robin in modern day. Let's see.
That was thin Elvis in the leather suit, all done up on stage, looking like Elvis. Fat Elvis was 1976.
Put fat Elvis versus Robin.
Fat Elvis is still skinnier than Robin.
This is 1968 Elvis.
He's got the leather suit
That's
on.
not
Look at
fat. How is that fat?
How's that fat?
In what universe is that fat?
In Howard's.
And you know it's Stamos, Monique, that read him the riot act about Elvis, right? Who's a bigger?
Oh yeah,
file,
it's hearing
Stamos.
from everybody. Everybody's calling
My
me
friends.
about Elvis.
Today's show is all my friend.
Totally, but I thought this was actually even a stupider comment that he made. Hold on, let me put this on.
That I heard from a lot of Elvis fans
lot of
over the
Elvis
weekend.
fans, a
Friends
lot
of
of
mine,
them.
personal friends, who said, "What do you mean you don't get Elvis?" I said,
Stamos.
I mean, I'm not being a wise guy. I just really started to love music when the Beatles came over.
Why?
That was it for me. And I remember even seeing Elvis in 1968 on, I think it would aired on HBO when he did that special. I remember watching it.
What?
So here's a heads
I
up.
missed
didn't
that
start till the
part.
70s.
Yeah, HBO was not around in 1968.
It was not.
So there's two things in that sentence that made my head go, ow. First of all, you were 10 years old when the Beatles came to America. You were 10. They came in 1964. You were born in 1954. You were 10.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's you're an idiot. You're just saying that because that's the popular band that you should think you should like. You like bread. You don't like the Beatles. You like bread.
Look how hot Elvis was in 1968.
That's hot Elvis.
That is hot Elvis.
That's
My
hot
father.
Elvis.
I told you guys, my
In
father.
the leather suit.
My father went to Germany.
Oh, you see that move? That was a classic move right there, bro.
In the 50s, I guess it was. I don't know when Elvis was like the most popular. I was never an
In the
Elvis
50s.
fan.
In the late 50s.
But he was hot.
I was too young to remember, Monique, but my sister told me my parents have been subscribed to Hulu since 1976. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you haven't canceled that since 76?
God, what did you get it when it was like 22 cents?
Yeah, it was like 22 cents, and it's like a rent control apartment on the Upper West Side. It doesn't move.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, and then after that, he started talking about how he was never really into who was it, Pink Floyd?
Yeah.
Or Black Sabbath. He didn't know who they were. He had never heard of them until.
Wait. Mr. Rock and Roll, Mr. Metalhead, Mr. Pompadour hairdo in the 80s. Had no idea of the first heavy metal band named Black Sabbath.
Nope.
Even though you had Ozzy on there.
He created the Osbournes, Dennis, right?
Yes, he did. Yes.
Didn't we supposedly create the Osbournes?
Yes.
And reality TV.
All right. So you ready for a good long pause?
Yes, I love.
Yes, I can't wait. It's my favorite part. My favorite part of the show.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Yeah, you missed the opportunity.
She's a
to hear
babbling
him.
idiot too.
Because even that song, I think that was an Elvis song that he broke into when he said, "When you go into Sun Records," that was the stagecoach or whatever it was, train rolling with 16 coaches long.
What?
Yeah. Well, anyway.
The hell are you talking about, Robin?
Howard had the same response as everybody in the audience. What?
Yeah.
What?
What are you talking about, Robin?
16 tons of wagons. What, Robin? What song is this, Robin?
I just sacked Zach Wilson on that alligator count.
Didn't Zach sack himself?
Yeah, he sacks himself. That's great. That's funny.
He literally sacked himself.
He sacks
It's like
himself.
the most amazing thing ever.
Well, everybody knows it's true that Stuttering John did in fact create the Kardashians, right, Xavier?
Yeah.
Oh my
sure.
God.
Is it not true that he used to visit the set?
He lived next door to in Calabasas to the Kardashians.
Yes.
Susanna created it. Susanna created it.
Did you
Yes,
have any
absolutely.
extra
Whatever John says is true.
Yes,
donuts?
So then Howard started talking about how Bill Maher actually called him and apologized this weekend.
Yeah, this is great. So
I think the truth might be in the middle of.
no, the truth's not even there.
I told you he'd call him right away. I told you.
So
Maher
I tweeted Bill Maher. I don't think I've heard back. I don't believe any of that story.
Billy. I tweeted out to Billy. He didn't.
I tweeted out to Billy. I was hoping for a
I sent him a little
response.
PM because he follows me, and
Yeah, we like bros.
yeah, but we're like this. We're just so tight. Love you. Just super. So yeah. So Bill Maher apparently apologized. Let's hear
No,
how
he
that
didn't.
went down. Well, let's hear how it went down. Hold
No.
on. Here we go.
No, he didn't.
Bill wrote me, and
Oh, he
he
wrote
said, "Oh, Howard, I didn't know you. I never got your email that you wrote me, which was strange to me because I do have the right email address." But he said, "Give me your number. I want to call you.
No.
I want to speak to you." And we had so I spoke to him over the weekend, and I told him about my shock at this commentary, and he was apologetic. And
Yeah. So
He doesn't know he had the right email address, but he emailed him, but he doesn't have it. He couldn't hit reply. What an absolute! He can't even tell the truth about a basic. It's
How
almost
does
like having a
he reach out
No
on
landline.
way any that's true.
email
Oh,
by
it's so-
saying I never got your email, but let me email you.
You know
and
why?
get your
Yeah,
phone number.
Because the email ended at .prodigy.
that was his right. Prodigy was this thing that.
So
Start-
at some point after that, he decides he's finally going to segue into the Trump thing. And, we were talking about it last night. How is he going to do this? What's going to be his take on it? And I guess he talked to enough people to, number one, he loves not knowing. So he claimed to not know anything about it. And people
Liar.
were texting him
Yeah.
and saying, oh, we're with
Liar.
you on this. And he didn't know what they were talking about. And then P.S. It turned out to be about this. So here's his segue into the
This is painful. This segue. This is
friends started to write me, "Hey,
hey,
My friends.
I just whatever happened to people having opinions in this country, and I support you. Fuck the haters. Blah blah blah. I support you." And I was like, something weird must be going on.
Yeah.
Something
could it be?
strange is going on. Yeah.
a man who has Google alerts for himself doesn't know
bullshit.
Trump, amongst a million other people, were talking about him last week. Really?
Eviscerating him.
And then I heard
Eviscerating
from
him.
another friend who wrote me an email and said, "Hey man, I hope you're okay. I love you. And I really want you to go after Donald Trump. But then again, I don't want you to go after Donald Trump because that's what he wants." And
Yeah. All right. P.S. Here we go. Hang on.
Trump was writing that I'm a broken weirdo and that I'm not loyal to him, which is bizarre. I mean, I don't work for you. Why would I be loyal to you? I mean, I
Wow.
don't even know what he's talking about.
Then
Wow. So I guess he is not a real human. Usually if you have friends, because you don't have any, usually with friends you're kind of loyal. But you don't understand it because you've never had a friend in your entire life.
Well,
But
loyalty's
so-
only
you know-
connected to money, Dennis. It
He
connects to
fired
your
all his
career.
friends.
exactly. But
He
don't you
pays
see
for his friends.
how
Yes.
how he was very he's like boy in a plastic bubble. He was very
Yes.
sheltered from knowing what
Yes.
anybody was talking about. All these people are writing to him without saying to him, hey, stupid, did
serious?
you see that tweet that Trump sent and link him to it?
Well-
Like I was linked to it first thing in the morning that day. Of course they did. But he's playing so unaware. Like
Oh,
people
he's
are
too cool to
Well-
know that's gossip, right?
yeah,
To
this is
be
Too
fair,
busy.
yeah.
that note was on Gary page 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
He didn't get to it in yellow. He didn't get to it.
But the thing is though, I mean, you're right about the Google alerts. I mean, both him and Beefus have friggin' Google alerts out the yazoo, friggin' trying to to make sure they catch every mention of themselves in the media.
I got an
Yeah.
idea. How about
Absolutely.
if anybody has any insight to the Trump universe, tell Trump to take out an ad in Dan's papers and write the same thing or an article.
Trump,
How
you know what?
great
He
would
should
that
just
be?
buy.
What
He
would
should just
stop
buy
him?
Dan's papers.
I'll
That would
give
be the
you-
funniest thing in the world.
Give you $200,000 to write an article in Dan's
Just
papers.
just buy it for $250,000.
But buy it, right?
buy it.
Trump's papers.
Take every page and put an ad in it.
Don's papers. Don's papers.
Deep enough. Don's papers. Exactly.
Don's papers.
Then
Yeah,
then he should draw Howard on an Etch-a-Sketch, take a picture of it, and then just send it to them.
All right.
Yes, quitter. He loves not knowing. He's too cool.
Continuing. Continuing on with it. Here we go. Hang on.
Now, I tell you the truth. I don't know what woke means, but to me, I said on the air. And by the way, when I said this on the air, I never ever thought
Liar.
anyone would care that
Liar.
I'm saying.
It's-
It shocks me
Liar.
how the dumbest shit that I talk about becomes somehow news. It's
Yeah. Okay. You say these things knowing that it's going to become
Or
news.
why do a show if
press
it doesn't
release
mean
them.
anything?
You were
Why would you want to
purposefully
do a
doing it.
show where it didn't mean anything what you said?
He press releases it. He literally
Right.
press releases
We
it.
just read the Leslie Dart thing. There's your proof.
This is
press
what you
release.
do. Do we care that he was first online at CVS? No.
No, I don't give a
No.
fuck.
Oh, did you see Biznick's Photoshop of that?
care.
Yes, I love that.
Oh, how great was that? That's Biznick was brilliant.
Okay, and this is how he ends it off with the Trump thing. Here we go.
Yeah, I was struck by the fact that like a guy who got to be president was up at 2 a.m. thinking about me. Surely,
Yeah, that's kind of
it's kind
big
of a
in my
compliment.
opinion.
Yeah, I was actually moved by it. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay. So
Wow.
that's his spin. So not only is he okay with being called like a loser, ugly inside and out, bullshit on how much you're getting paid,
Yeah.
but I appreciate the fact that you tweeted out about me first thing in the morning or last thing at night, whatever it was.
You know what? You know what though? When's the last time Howard was up at 2:00 in the morning besides to go piss?
Oh, never.
Exactly.
You know, it's just so bizarre to me that this is the hill he chooses to die.
Yeah,
upon.
Dennis,
I
how
pointed
about
that out in
binge-
the thread. Why is
Binge
that not
watching
true?
The
Dennis.
Bachelorette at 2 a.m. like it used to go.
Once in a
He would
while,
Exactly.
Once in a while, Beth's dates knock over a lamp.
But honestly, I mean, he is so out of touch with everything. He's going to die on a hill where he's going to have nobody with him. I mean, he literally is going to be alone.
Oh, that's
As
already
an
going to happen at this point.
I mean, he's just going to be forgotten. I mean, he's going to Forgottenville. I mean, he's
all
on
that
that
matters to
freight
him,
train.
Dennis, is the useful idiot theory we have.
But
with
even
him.
that,
Yeah, but it's all he
he's
cares
out-
about.
he's,
As long
he's not
as
useful.
one
he's
text
not-
from Clooney or Alec Baldwin or Kimmel or Stephanopoulos,
Baldwin,
that means more to him than 3 million people liking him.
Alec Baldwin,
Yeah.
persona non
He
grata.
probably communicates with him, but he doesn't bring it up.
He
That's his
doesn't bring
friend.
him up because he has
Yeah.
no balls to bring him up.
Biznick, that is so brilliant. So this is Biznick's
This
Photoshop.
is great.
Howard at CBS.
Howard at CBS first thing in the morning.
You know, but I mean, you know, it's his whoever's directing this PR or how he's trying to get noticed again is really doing a bad job.
Yeah.
Because it's blowing up in his face. I mean, he's going down in flames.
But when
Completely
you're
going down in flames.
when you're a student of magical thinking, Dennis, there is no bad job.
I
Right?
guess
I mean,
You have
the
to care.
move is
People
to
have to care about what you're doing. Like they have
Right.
to care in order for it to matter, right?
But he doesn't. He's getting paid. That's all he cares about.
Of course,
He knows
that's
the quality of the show's garbage. He
But
doesn't
how much
care.
longer is that going to happen? I mean,
You know
really?
what? He's playing with house money at this point.
I know, but my God.
It's horrible. But you know what? He doesn't care. It's clearly his priority is just making his bank as fat as
Look at
possible.
that wig.
So I don't know if any of you saw this today. I was tagged into it. This guy called Alpha Fox. I guess he has a lot of followers. Just writes this. Do you like this dude?
Look at that picture. Jesus.
And the comments.
That was a while ago. That's the birthday party.
The comments are just, quite.
That's classic.
Okay,
I
that's
love
funny.
that.
This is quite delicious.
Uh-oh.
Holly
Carp-
weird loser. I've never liked him, to be honest. He's always been too nasty for me.
You don't want Carpacci on your ass.
Yeah, he definitely don't
No,
want to
you
be a
definitely
thing.
don't want that.
When he moved over to Sirius, he became a real jerk off. He abandoned
Real
all
jerk
the
off.
tricks that helped him keep his watch up. Started acting like he was an elite, trying to convince his newer generation of listeners that he was somehow a legit personality influencer. He made his own
Nice.
raunchy shock jock, and he's trying to act like he's above the fray. He reminds me of Ozzy. You can't have both of these phonies. Wow. Never did. He's lowbrow at best. Nope. Pedo. Because I don't, yeah, okay. Used to, not anymore. His wife made him too woke. Then he was married to his first wife. He was full no filter. Now we don't even recognize the guy. Usually people get more conservative when they get older. This guy just got woker. I hate the word woke. I
I'm
really
tired of
don't
it too.
ever want to use it
It's
ever
a
on our
no.
show.
No,
I don't
it's-
think that people
it's a
even
silly word.
understand what the stupid word means. And it's really
Well,
ridiculous.
I'm not even gonna
Um,
go there.
no,
It's just-
let's
but
not.
he's just at this point though. That's so poignant though. When he had Allison, there was a real conversation of like it was weekend was Friday and Sunday, and he actually talked about what happened Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night in detail
Yeah.
on Monday.
We love that Monday show.
Right, because he would actually talk about. Now he's talking about his weekend, which starts Wednesday afternoon. He went to Nobu Wednesday afternoon.
We're talking
Wednesday
about
night.
Boo.
Could you imagine
And then,
Beth taking 5% of what Allison took on the air? 5%. All the what a great sport she would be to call in, and she was so likable.
absolutely.
She would call. Imagine Beth taking 5%
No.
of the shit.
Oh
Allison
no,
took.
God no. Beth would start like, shaking and trying to fall down, fake falling down, and that'd be
She
the
would
end
faint.
of the conversation.
Yeah, she
You
would.
should go to the, you should go to the Beth clip now
Oh, okay. Let's
to
do that.
remind people of what we're dealing with.
All right, go play it.
Oh dear Christ.
Make sure the volume's on.
No, volume's not on.
There's a wand toy stuck in my hair,
A what?
Yes,
wine
folks,
coat.
she's 51.
and I can't get it out. Cocomelon, Misty, help me, please.
Shit.
She's wasted, bro.
Oh my
I want
god.
whatever it's on.
My life is so glamorous, isn't it?
Wow. Oh my God.
I'm
it's
not
so-
really sure how this happened, but there's a wand toy stuck in my hair,
Wow. What? All right. So what?
and I can't get it out.
What are you on? That
Cocomelon,
does this?
Misty, help me.
Oh, Cocomelon, help me.
Oh my
Oh
God.
Right.
my god.
Right, B40.
My life is so glamorous, isn't it?
Oh.
Oh, is she trying to associate with the common people?
Yes,
After
I so
she
relate.
After she put up a photo of one of her stupid cats in a $5,000 pocketbook.
Used.
Cute. I was
But no.
yesterday. So cute.
This was self-medicating 2 hours later, and that's what happened.
Jesus.
That's what that's the
literally
end
was
result
supposed to be,
right there.
An hour ago? This is supposed to
Thank
yeah,
you,
1 hour
RadioGunk.
ago.
I actually downloaded it before, just in case.
Yeah, I downloaded it too, just in
over.
case.
I mean,
I got a feeling when there's gonna once Soberland, makes a
that's
visit,
that's not
that's gonna
acting.
disappear.
That was pretty far gone. Yeah, a little slurring at the end.
That was a little
impressive.
gurgle.
No, that's usually with the for dinar.
So bizarre. So bizarre.
Can you
I mean,
imagine if Allison was tipsy just once during the heyday?
Oh God.
well, Allison wasn't on social media. I mean, it's a whole different
Yeah, but
animal.
even so,
Yeah,
Howard,
still.
they would have absolutely just gone ballistic. Like, what are you doing getting drunk on the what are you getting drunk
That's
on
a
that
great. That's a
steam-
great. What if you guys just concocted on this unknowingly? Imagine what if Allison was on social media. How would that go if they're still married? How do you think she would have handled social media? Would Allison have a Instagram and would she have a
No.
Twitter? I don't
Nope.
know.
No,
We should
No.
create one. We should
No.
create one right now.
For Allison,
Allison Burns,
No.
Simon
You gotta
Stern.
remember,
has
she also-
one like a private
Love
one.
Hewitt.
I feel like Gary
probably
Potter
does,
used
yeah.
to always like poke into it.
Yes.
So
So
I think it is
here's the
Yeah,
thing.
he
Though.
did.
Allison is a lot smarter than Howard. We're very aware of that.
No
A lot-
question.
And so I mean, she wouldn't need to go on social media to get the self to pick you up self-affirming. She doesn't need that because she's already confident
No,
in
but
herself.
you don't
and
have
she's
to. I
smart.
mean, it's
and she has a career.
You don't have
This-
to be an attention whore to go on these things.
Exactly.
now,
This,
Dennis,
but this bimba needs to go on there to get affirmed.
I got
because-
something stuck in my hair.
Exactly. I got a
Kitty
cat toy
cats,
stuck
come
in my head.
rescue
How
me.
happened?
51 going on 14.
How dry I am. How dry I am.
But take the money away from her, and how much more pathetic is that, right? I mean, she can get away with that because she's rich. It's
Well,
almost like that's noon or something, and she's a ne'er do well. She's no
I
different
saw-
than the loser you make fun of with the video games in the middle of the day.
I think I saw what beef would be without money. Is over here, and we're near where I live because we have a little meth problem. And that,
she's no different than them, Dennis. The
strung
ne'er-do-wells on
out,
the corner.
walking down the
Right.
road.
She's just got money. She's no different than the
Exactly.
drug addicts on the corner doing nothing.
I'm gonna move on with
Exactly.
our show. I'm gonna move on
We're
with
gonna
our
move
show.
on. It's so
People-
much fun talking about.
Keep on
beef.
trucking.
So a little projection here, which I thought was kind of interesting. Let me throw the picture up so that we may appreciate it. And let's go.
Guess who?
Dear God.
Why the fuck would ABC have something called The Golden Bachelor? The Bachelor's 70 years old,
Looks better
which
than you.
I said, No one wants to. You want to see young people, attractive young. Nobody wants to see a 70-year-old dude, unless he's rich and he's dating 30-year-olds.
Huh?
Yeah.
Nobody wants a 7-year-old dude watching it, let alone.
I mean,
2
he
in the
doesn't
morning
look
or-
better than Howard by
Oh,
every
way better.
By miles.
every monitor that you can think of. I think he's
He- you
actually had
know-
his nose done and veneers. But
Yeah,
okay,
that
I'll let
nose
him
is
go.
brutal, bro.
That nose is brutal.
That
But
looks
you
like
know
a
the thing
penis,
is though, he at least doesn't look like he looks like he did something, but it doesn't look like he went but he doesn't look like Howard, where you went literally you went there and just kind of
Yeah,
just
no.
read-
I mean, this guy
Yeah.
definitely had a glow up for the show.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
but
For sure.
but still, I mean, he looks like a normal person, unlike Howard.
He looks like the kind of dude that shaves his credit score into his pubes.
Hey, sometimes you have to do what you got to do.
He looks
Oh.
like Skip
700, I'm
Bayless, the
impressed.
Skip Bayless filter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is what he really looks like. This is.
It's still better looking than Howard.
Yeah,
no,
Howard.
That's not
I'm-
saying much, bro.
I'm with you on that.
Get
He's-
all the hair
he's 1
plugs
year
and
older.
lipo you want and wear all the skater clothes and pre-distressed bullshit. You look every bit the 70 years old you do, if not more. You don't look young.
No.
Keep telling
he
yourself
really
that.
doesn't. He really doesn't. He actually and that fake, clown hair, it ages him.
Yes, it
You know,
does. Yes, it
just
does.
makes him
You know
look
what-
so much
you know
worse.
what
That
it
dude, the spray
does?
tan is killing me.
You know what it does though? That fake hair really draws to see how old his face looks because
Yeah,
he's
it
so
draws him in.
thin.
It's
Yes,
very
it does.
drawn. Yes.
He's so drawn. He looks like Ebenezer Scrooge, like at the end.
Exactly. All right, let's move on. This really got me really, really annoyed, and I only cut this clip because of how annoyed at it I am, and I know all the people in the chat right now are going to be really really pissed at this too. Thanks, Scores Man. Rest in peace, MarksFriggin. Great memories. I don't know what LFSW means.
That's okay as long
Let's
as you have the
fuck-
archives. I don't
let's
care
F
what
some
any.
Oh, let's
whores.
fuck some whores. That's it.
Yes.
Oh, geez. Okay, sorry,
Come
sorry.
on, you
sorry,
got to be
sorry.
with the lingo.
Yeah, sorry.
For the
right.
young people that are 73.
All right, here we go. Ready for what Howard says. This is really pathetic. Here we go.
Yes.
My titty is itching right now.
Oh,
Affy.
The nipple
am-
or just around?
Around the nipple. I know why now.
Why?
Because I went and got a when they put tape on your titties for an EKG. I had an EKG.
Another fucking procedure.
When they put tape
tape on your titties.
on your titties. Okay. Now the idiot. Okay, so let's not
So
even gonna be
Monique, did
fair
they,
to
did
him.
they throw tape on your titties for
Another
EKG?
procedure.
Well, anybody who has ever been to the doctors ever knows if they're allergic to latex or not. And it's one of the questions they will always ask you on any intake form or on any like new doctor or anything. Are you allergic to latex? And so everybody who gets itchy from latex, I am one of those people. So I know I'm allergic to latex.
There's no tape on your titties.
He can't, I get itchy titties, right? He can't correlate that he's itchy and that it's because of the specific type of band-aid. Because if you are, then they give you one of those like woven band-aids as opposed to the cloth
Wait,
one.
I thought Barbados made pre-distressed band-aids. Isn't that true?
Wait, is this a guy that had his rubbers in a vault?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't know if he's
Yes.
allergic to latex?
Yes.
Yes.
He doesn't know. He couldn't
Okay.
understand that that's why his titties were itching. I can't even say it. I mean, it's just
so
so
bad.
so
a man,
bad.
a grown man saying he has titties.
So Xavier,
Grown
write that
man.
down. Another procedure we got to keep track of, right? The colonoscopies, the
yes.
blood test, the mercury test. There's another procedure. Write
Look
it
at
down.
Jeremy Harrelson. I had a checkup this morning, got a flu shot. They asked me twice if I was allergic to latex. He says, of course they asked me a question. And you're okay with telling them, yes, I am allergic to latex. Yes. Yes, it makes me itchy. It makes my titties itchy. Yes.
Yes,
But he
people in the
doesn't do
chat. The reason the co-payment was created is Howard and his ilk.
Yep. 100%.
I'm allergic to Christina Brown. Yes. Definitely right. So then he had Ronnie on, which is always good for about, an hour's worth of absolutely unscripted bullshit.
Oh, yeah, not
And,
scripted at all.
Yeah, it's so weird to me how, yeah, you made Ronnie the person that he is. So he knows all these people who he has genuinely become friends with and he's inviting them to his wedding. But Howard still has to make it all about him, which is like so shocking to me.
Some people call it Ronnie's wedding. The other people are calling it the Howard Stern Gala. It's like a Howard Stern con.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I gave you a life, dude.
It's
you
all your
you should
friends.
thank me every single day of your life. I hope you do.
God, you got to.
He's right though. He did.
He is right.
Well, wait.
I mean,
there's
he's
no
a dick
Stephanie
about it,
without
but he's
scores
right.
and that whole bullshit.
No, but wait. There's also a second part to this. Howard gave him, access, but Ronnie made the connections. It wasn't Howard that introduced him to these people. He had the ability to meet these people and made a
Granted, he
connection with
would have
them.
never met these people had he not been
can't-
on the show.
Yeah.
But true,
All he's
but
gotta do is
there are
drop Howard's
people.
name wherever
but,
he goes.
Wait,
Why would
there are
you
people
care,
on the
Howard?
show.
Why would you care?
But no, but the thing is, I'm just trying to explain this. There are people on the show that have the same kind of access that Ronnie did, but their personalities are so friggin' horrible. They can't connect with any other human. I mean,
all their
because they
wives are a
didn't F
result
some
of the show,
horse.
Dennis. Everybody
All
on
of
the
them.
show is
All those
their
wives.
wives are a result of this show.
that's true.
They
but
have nothing without it.
But Ronnie actually parlayed it to something better than just getting a wife.
A divorce. He got divorced because of the show, right? He doesn't have access
great,
to his
good for
Stephanie,
him.
and he got divorced. Howard caused his divorce in essence because of his access.
Oh,
But,
and you can be guaranteed, Radio Gaga, who says Ronnie should have Howard foot the bill for the wedding in exchange
Absolutely.
for content. But every single one of those douchebags on his show are going to be filming it, recording, making like little commentaries, and it's just gonna be at least a week's worth of content. At least,
Much like Mo will be for
a
us.
new asshole. What?
Much like Mo will be for us.
Yes.
I'm trepidatious bringing this name up, but it was Stuttering John that brought Ronnie to the forefront on this show. He's the first one to do the Eugene stuff, and then they ran with it. He was actually going to name his band the Mund instead of the Stuttering John Band.
Mund.
That would have been a better
I swear
name.
to God, that was the original name of his band.
That would have
Mund.
been
Actually,
But it was John
better.
that started this whole thing. The whole Eugene thing is John bringing him in, and then they ran with it. And they have no other content. Could you imagine explaining to someone who hasn't listened to the show and you go, yeah, half the content is Howard talks to his former security and limo driver about his wedding that he's not going to. How dumb is this show?
But
How
it just keeps
stupid
going.
is-
Just keeps
going.
It just keeps going and going.
Another month.
15-minute tirade about Steven Singer being invited to the wedding, and Ronnie trying to explain to him that he's actually friends with Steven Singer. Now I get it. I get that Ronnie probably over-invited to this wedding. I mean, seriously, you over-invited Ronnie. You really did.
Well, you know what though? It's his last go around. The guy's 73.
It's true.
I
mean,
and you know what? Listen,
Leave
he's
each
marrying
day.
a young chippy that I'm sure wants the big wedding and whatever. But Steven Singer, really, and
Well,
like Mr. Judy Tenuta mentioned today, nobody goes more than 30 minutes out of their way to go to a jeweler. Nobody. I mean, you just don't do that. There's so
No.
many of them. Nobody goes out of their way to go to Steven
No.
Singer. You just don't. You just
Especially the
don't.
guy that he hawks in China those cheap friggin' roses.
Oh,
For like
disgusting
$40.
$5 wholesale. And,
Yeah.
and apparently Steven Singer's gift to Ronnie was he gave them his their wedding bands. So yeah, good for you. Good for you.
You know what? I hate Stevenson.
I really hate Steven Singer. I think he's a total
I
douchebag.
despise Steven Singer.
Okay, so let's get into him gaslighting Robin. So as Bring Back Jackie pointed out on Twitter, it's been almost 1,300 days since he has seen Robin. It is over 3 years, and yet he still feels the need to not only tell her what to do, stay home, and not do anything, but then to kind of rub it in a little bit. It was very, very weird. So let's listen to a little bit of that so that we can talk about it.
You can't do
I'm
it.
afraid to travel because
You're not going
you never
anywhere.
know.
Good.
If you win the lottery and get one of these people,
What people?
in your plane.
What
Well,
people?
good. I don't want you
What kind of
traveling
people?
anyway. I told you. You're
What? Traveling salesman?
What happened? How'd you drop
That's so
out on
weird.
that?
All right, so
anyway.
Jeremy
Like that.
Harrelson asks a great question. Have we heard about Benji? No.
No,
We've heard
no.
nothing from
Totally
Benji.
Out of the
Zero. Oh, Oh, hi.
Guess who?
How you doing
What
down there?
happened?
I don't know. You just dropped.
I don't know. You like maybe it's your pencil tucky stuff.
It's so weird. Every once in a while, I just like drop out. Did you guys hear that clip?
No, part of it.
All right, let's play it again. Sorry, guys.
You
Anywhere.
never know.
Good.
If you win the lottery and get one of these people in your plane.
Well, good. I don't want you traveling anyway. I told you you're immunocompromised, and I don't want you going anywhere. Stay
Okay,
home. Beware, you.
Wait.
You didn't go anywhere this weekend, did you?
I just went down to Maryland.
What?
So, okay.
Really?
Did he say you're immunocompromised?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. He said immunocompromised. He always says
Ooh.
that.
Yeah, he always
okay.
says.
I think somebody's not very.
You know what
not
the
doing
sad
very
thing
well.
is? Let me tell you the sad thing. The reason she stays home generally and doesn't come into the office, and because he says not to come into the office, is because seriously, Howard is the only man in her life. Like, that is the love of her life. And if he tells her to stay home, she, for all intents and purposes, is going to stay home because she listens to him. You know, the only person that really just fawns over him, idolizes him, worships him, and yeah, I'll stay home.
I don't. I take up a different take. I just think she's just that sick, and she probably went down to a what's down in Maryland? There's a cancer center down there. Isn't
Well, she
there?
went to Rehoboth or something.
Chevy
Yeah.
Chase, Maryland.
Yeah, so I mean that's what that's all about.
She wants to be on Real Housewives of Potomac, Dennis. She's trying out
Exactly.
for it.
And the thing is, Maryland is not that far from New Jersey. It really
It's
isn't.
not that
Oh,
bad.
that's a quick
not.
ride. That's a quick
only a
ride.
few
You're
hours.
right.
No, the
Yeah.
sad part is, Monique, she went to visit Emily Stern, which Howard will never do because Emily lives in Maryland. I've never heard
Yeah,
word
she
one of him
does.
visiting her in Maryland.
Nope. He
Thank
talked
you,
about
Gary
Emily,
Puppet.
but he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't.
I don't think
say
he's
he
ever been
visited.
to her apartment. I'm
Never.
pretty
He
sure.
never
of
will
that.
be.
She's gonna be the new Grand Dame.
Don't forget about Robin's boyfriend.
I just got that. Took a moment.
What Xavier was doing there is he was simulating a vibrator that Robin
Oh,
can't
that's
have a
what Freddie
relationship, so
Waka,
she uses a
waka.
vibrator
That's
to
the obvious.
satisfy
There we
herself.
go.
That's
I
what he was doing.
Slapper.
I thought it was.
Har,
I thought it was the
I
sound of a colostomy pump. That's okay.
So this is my longest
A
clip of
sump.
the night. It's a minute
sump pump.
43, so we're gonna have to break it up a little bit. But this is like
Please.
the absolute ultimate gaslighting of Robin. This is really what it is.
Carrie Williams.
Here we go.
Friends? You mean COVID-infected friends or RSV-infected friends? Yeah, you're all right?
I'm fine. That was on Friday. I went.
Yeah.
And
You
came
felt the
back.
need to see people? You like to be social, Lieutenant?
I have a few people I like to see.
All right. How'd it go? All right?
Fine. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Took
realized
the
the whole week.
ferry over to Rehoboth, where the president lives.
Really?
And yeah. And
You
then
mean-
met some friends for lunch.
Your Zoom wasn't working? You couldn't see them over the computer? You need to see you need
Wow.
to see that they're real or something?
Now,
Yes, I want to see a real human being every once in a while.
now watch how he segues. Now, watch how you shouldn't go
Slick
in
this is.
here. You're immunocompromised. You need to stay home. You need to not do anything but listen to me.
COVID is tearing through our office. No time to play Russian roulette. A lot of
I'm
people
not
on the show.
visiting anybody from this show.
Actually, I'm out and about. I was at Nobu. I hadn't been there in years. I was at Nobu,
Which
Wednesday.
one? One in Manhattan?
one in Manhattan.
There's two.
Yeah.
now.
What do you think? I flew to Malibu? I'm not like you.
Yeah.
I'm not wild. I went there on 57th Street.
Okay, Nobu 57. Awesome.
Met friends. Sitting there 5 minutes. 5 minutes in, I get a text from my daughter. Dad, you're at Nobu. My daughter Ashley's like the FBI. She knows wherever I am. I mean, she's got friends all over the city.
It's because you had the vaccine. You got chipped.
Yeah.
She's
Okay, let's just go with how stupid Howard is. Howard probably has on his phone, like we all do, and I don't subscribe to it. But if you're on like text messages, you can actually
Send him the text.
Send your
to-
tell
location.
people where you are.
You are.
Yep.
You can, and people can track you
Yeah,
basically
right.
whenever they want to, wherever
just-
you are. He doesn't realize that Ashley probably has him on track, and that's how he
Stupid.
knows That's how she knows that he's at Nobu. He really thinks that Ashley has friends all over the city
Yes.
who are
Minions.
monitoring where Howard is. Are you
Yes. You don't know that they're standing around in trench coats with microphones in there, and they're like, "You won't believe it. Your old man just walked into Nobu."
Yeah, can you imagine how stupid and naive
We
he
have
is?
a
Like, he doesn't
cold
realize it?
stork at Nobu. Cold stork.
So here he is. He stays in the city one night, right? And so he figures, right. So he stays in on Wednesday. He meets up with people, friends, and he's rubbing it into Robin a little bit. It's like very,
Oh, absolutely.
and then he had his doctor's appointment probably in the morning and then went on his way back home. So that was his one day in the city.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
the thing is, though, I mean, ever since he's come back from vacation, it has been one thing after another, just sticking it to Blobbin that he doesn't see her.
Mhm.
I mean, literally, it's been one thing after another that I go see everyone on the planet except you.
Except for you.
Except for you. I've seen everyone.
It's really weird. It really
except for you.
Weird.
She
By the
doesn't
way,
get
she's
it.
home.
She doesn't seem to get it, which is really weird.
She
She's not the
doesn't.
brightest bulb.
No, but when she was on that summer wrap-up show, she seemed a little upset that he would have this dinner party and have all these people over. And I'm shocked actually that she didn't come in when he was in the city last week. I really am.
I don't think she's well enough to. I honestly don't think she's well enough.
Immunocompromised.
I guess.
1 second you're listening to Howard, the next you're having dinner with Herman Cain.
All right. So then they spent a solid half hour, 35, 40 minutes on a horrible contest segment called
Game, quote
What
unquote.
Will Religious
Game.
Shows Pray For? Now, I didn't record any of it because nobody gives a shit about a stupid thing like this. But interestingly enough, it was probably the first time, as some people pointed out in the listening thread, that actual callers were playing for prizes, but the prizes was just
callers
from his archives that he has too much of because he's a hoarder and he has no one to give it away to. So it's just shit, like a signed thing from a squirrel that was on AGT who knew how to water ski.
I heard this. These are not real callers. I'm sorry.
Well, it's
nobody's wanting this signed thing from a squirrel from AGT. There's no one wanting this. I don't care.
I don't want it, but let's listen to the opening, John, before you continue.
Okay.
All right, Holly, this is called What Will Religious Shows Pray For?
Praise the Lord.
All right.
Go, John.
I was going to say, you notice when I'm probably more in line with Bill Maher and religious, but notice whenever we do this making fun of religion. Now, I'm certainly not Christian, and I was raised Roman Catholic, but we never goof on Judaism, do we, when we do these things, right? It's always the Christian right, it's always the Christian kooks, but it's never Judaism we goof on when we do these things. That's the one thing we don't touch. Or Islam, right.
You don't touch either one of those.
The truth is they probably don't have as many stupid
they're out there. Everything's out there.
radio shows as
They're out there.
They're out there. No,
Emily's one. Goof on Emily. She's their daughter's one.
Okay, and then my last it's this show ended with such a thud. They had
they had to get out 10:30. They had to get out.
Why?
Because that's his new time to get off the air, because
Did he
it makes
mention
his
that
contract.
Did he say anything about that? Or no?
No, but it's been now very consistent. It's 10:30 every time.
So it was just really curious to me that this would be the last phone call he takes, considering the fact that they keep talking about, him and his wife being on the rocks, and this was
I know.
stupid
Okay.
phone call.
I have a dilemma, I guess.
Why would you call her? Why would you call him?
My husband had an affair with one of my friends.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, and so everybody has their 2 cents. Robin, the unmarried woman, Ralph, the unmarried man, Howard, the man who's probably only been with 2 women, 3 maybe in his entire life. So everybody had like a conversation to go into with the phony phone caller.
And this woman stayed on the air how long, Monique?
Oh, the whole rest of the show.
20 minutes, right?
Half hour, I think. It was about
Yeah.
Totally poised and knew when to take her pauses and
Oh, yeah.
cues, like
Yes,
most callers do.
Yes.
And such traumatic experience, but so calmly explains it to the host.
Yeah.
Calmly.
Yeah.
So calmly explains it.
Yeah, my husband had an affair with one of my friends.
He's my best friend. He was
Yeah.
banging her on the couch. It was perfectly fine.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that would be it for today's clippage. We're gonna do a little
Cleaning out the computer.
you happen to be right, Abrazo. All the women who call in all have the same voice.
Yeah,
all
they
like
do.
It is literally the same 3 women.
realtors from the Midwest-ish, right? I mean, they're all
Very
the same.
poised.
It's the same.
Yes.
It's the same persons. It's
And
literally-
their
it's literally-
phones are crystal clear. Always.
I
Yes.
know.
Never have a problem with their phones. Never, ever, ever, ever. It's kind of
The cul-de-sac cutie.
I can't even say it.
Some,
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. My
Muslim
brother
alaikum,
C137.
Cul-de-sac
How are
cutie
you?
coming back from the drop-off line at elementary school.
So Johnny brought in some clips. I called the audible and decided not to go with the Steve-O stuff. I went
Oh,
with
it's
the Bill Maher.
great.
Bill Maher 1, 2, and 3.
Dude.
I got Gutfeld 1 and 2. And then I was just going to touch a little bit on the Matt Walsh thing. Only
Play the
because
Steve-O stuff tomorrow. It's Steve-O talks about how he can't get on the show anymore.
Dude.
And this comedian, I think most people know, he's not on TV or movies, but he's pretty huge now. His name is Mark Normand, and he takes a shot at Howard. A big fucking
Steve-O has
shaker.
been trending a lot on TikTok lately because he just did the most wonderful thing. He decided that he was going to he was filming something down in, let's go with Argentina or Peru or something, and he decided he was going to rescue a dog. And this dog one day just came over to him and followed them throughout the entire filming of the show. And he's like, you know what? I decided I was just going to give this dog the best life it could ever possibly have. And they flew him home and they just gave him all the love in the world. It was just a really heartwarming story. And so Steve-O has been definitely trending lately for no reason other than dogs.
It's so weird because there's somebody else we know that has an animal rescue, and I've never heard of anything that warm.
Who's that,
or
Dennis?
fuzzy.
I
Gerard
got
Musoff?
something stuck in my hair.
Yeah, that's what we got.
Robert was visiting Lenny.
Ah,
Kravitz.
I don't know how this happened, but I got a cat toy right in the middle of my head.
I'm so glamorous, kitty.
Do you see my flapjacks? They're hanging there.
Stars, they're just like us. Oh, hi, David. Where the hell have you been? Just played
Whoa.
music for a Yom Kippur service.
Oh, that's right.
I
That
just
was
played the
today.
Oh,
Lovely
that's
Stern music.
right.
On my
Hang on. Let's wish everybody a happy Yom Kippur.
Oh,
Yes.
indeed.
David had to get a bris before he played the thing from Pete Buttigieg.
David, did you blow the shofar? I love the way you're able to pull that music right up there, Xavier.
I'm lazy. Happy Yom Kippur, everybody.
So let's just tie in a couple of things that have been going on this week. It was a very, very bad week for Howard. It started with his woke comments, and then a lot of people picked up on it. So everybody pretty much on the right just started to rip him a new asshole. I mean, it was everybody that matters in that world of that type of podcasting and all that stuff. So I wanted to play this one. I'm hoping it comes up, and if it doesn't, I'm sorry.
So last week, Bill Maher rips his asshole so big he drive a truck through it, and now this happens.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was really delicious. So it's amazing how this happens. I'm not
old Howard
necessarily
Stern
sure.
clips. You'd have a lot of
This is
edgy,
Matt
politically
Walsh.
incorrect content to choose from. Stern's many segments with an intellectually disabled dwarf comedian named Beetlejuice, for example, are not very hard to find. There's also a bunch of compilations of people fighting on Stern's set.
Monique.
Jerry Springer, usually
I'm
over
not- it's
money
hard
or
for me to pause
adultery or
these.
whatever.
Okay, never mind.
There's enough degeneracy there to last you weeks if for some reason you were inclined to go and seek it and watch it. But there's some recurring Howard Stern content that's not so easy to find because by and large, it's been scrubbed from most major video sharing sites. The segments I'm talking about involve Stern speaking about his sexual attraction to children, specifically Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Again and again, for several years, Stern described the Olsen twins as sexually attractive. Quote, "They're so amazingly hot," Stern says in one of his segments, referring to the underage girls. And in several cases, Stern brings up the girls unprompted, leading to awkward moments with his co-hosts. Because it's not possible to truly eliminate any content from the internet, you can still find this footage if you know where to look. A small handful of anonymous accounts have defied corporate censors and uploaded some of Stern's many disturbing comments about children that he finds sexually attractive. So here's just one example where Stern laments that the girls, in his estimation, aren't as attractive now as they were when they were 13 years old. Listen.
To speak of them individually is when they turn 18, who you want to bang first.
Yeah, it was weird. I was reading this magazine.
Yeah, Mary-Kate or Ashley.
Exactly.
Well, actually, Beth was reading a magazine. She goes, "Hey, did you see this?" And I forget what magazine it is, but it's the Olsen twins hugging each other in a photo shoot, and they go, "This is Howard Stern's fantasy."
You're kidding. What magazine did that?
I don't know. It was some magazine. And
oh, my God.
You know what, though? I don't really want to have sex with them anymore.
Me neither.
No, I don't know. They got kind of dwarfy looking.
Which one of them looks like a monkey?
Yeah, exactly. It's like something went wrong. Like they stopped growing or something.
They're not as hot as you thought they were going to be. No, no way.
It really looked for a while, like when they were 13 or 14, they were going to be supermodels.
But then they stuck right there.
They kind of like didn't grow or something. It's weird. And I was counting down to their 18th birthday so we could have sex with them, but
not everybody lives up to that. Like what's her face did? Alyssa Milano. She lived up to that. She got hot.
Someone told me she's really hairy though.
Who, Alyssa?
Got a belly hair and
really.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
there's no walking that back. There's no irony.
No,
It's every
no.
bit what he is, and we've all heard that initially and we just let it go. We just dirty old man.
But then, the thing is, he also then did Millie Bobby Brown. She was what, 15?
And how often did we push that on social media? How
All
often
the
did we talk?
time.
Nobody cared.
And nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
He's so irrelevant. I mean, good
And,
Lord. I mean, that was vile. I mean, the Billy Bobby Brown stuff was super vile. I mean,
is it
really.
just me, or looking at that dude, you just want to say he's a lumberjack and he's okay?
Okay,
He sleeps all
right.
night.
He works all
day.
night and he sleeps all day, or sleeps all night and works all day, whatever.
I don't know who he is. This Matt Walsh. I've never
he's
never
pretty
really.
spot
He cuts
on.
down
And remember,
trees. He drinks his lunch. He likes to.
and remember, the enemy of our enemy is our friend.
Yes.
Oh, 1,000%.
Him pointing that out is just so
Monique,
beautiful.
What's really crazy about that, and this isn't some delusional thing. It's too close to it. It's too weird.
like
the very Columbine clip I pulled. He played it on his show 2 days later.
Damn.
That you don't go back to that. That's so
The Columbine
weird.
stuff was pretty
2
bad.
days. Dennis, the exact clip we played on this show.
so
He played it as an example of exactly where we left off. You can't tell me he didn't get it from us. The Columbine thing.
Of course not. Of course he did. Of course he got it.
How?
from us.
Who's going back to that besides
going
us?
back
But
to that
still,
At that same day.
But still, man. I mean, we're pointing it out, and it's getting picked up, but it's just amazing how
You
nobody
can't
gives
cancel
a
a
shit.
partner. You can't. He has an unaccountability clause. He signed a deal with the devil. People need to get with that. You can't cancel him.
And you know what else? It's because he's behind a paywall. So he's not out in the public per se.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, the paywall.
He's behind a paywall. He's like a Patreon, basically.
I sent you a Bill Maher clip, Monique, where he says kind of exactly that. He's like, I wish I was you. You can't get canceled. And he sort of says it without saying it. And
Well, let's go to that first. Let's go to that before I go to this Greg Gutfeld, whom I also don't know, but he seems weird and almost gay to me. Not gonna
yes, that's I would love to.
So which clip? So should I do the Wigga Culpa? Which one?
Yeah, I'll explain the
Wigga
yeah, that's how
Wigga
it
Culpa.
Wigga Culpa. Maher had not done the Stern Show for, I want to go with, so the 9/11 stuff we played was the last time. He literally was off the show for 18 years, 17 years. This is his comeback. We kind of covered it on our show. 2019, he comes in and Howard's forced to apologize to him. And it's so weirdly tied in to this, what's going on now. It's because he ran into him at Seinfeld's birthday party. And so Maher is now comes on to the show, and they're kind of apologizing to each other and kissing each other's ass. And it's weird to hear what it is now. And it's a kind of a multi. But Maher starts it off by going, I wish I had your unaccountability. Bill Maher on HBO, 1 day a week. Is jealous of Howard's unaccountability.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, here we go.
Do you worry about that? That your views could offend AT&T?
At our age, we're playing with the house money, right?
Right,
I mean, even if they got rid of me, I am content like you are.
Right.
You know, in a way, I would like to do a show more like this.
Really?
I really would. I am jealous of you when I hear you.
Really? Because I would think...
are like so different. I have 1 hour. I try to put it all into 1 hour.
Right.
Whereas, you know, your genius is you can do 3 hours on a t-shirt. I was in the car the other day. You were talking about this fucking t-shirt. I'm like, 25 minutes later, I'm walking up to the office. They're still talking about
I still don't even know what you're talking about.
You know,
Okay.
Right, who could get away with that shit content, right? Like you said in the beginning, I can't get... I don't know. Maher's adhering to whatever HBO has, like a parent company that could fire him at any minute, and you think Maher's the greatest gig in show business? He's actually jealous of Howard. That's how.
Well,
good
think
Howard
about it.
has
Maher got fired from a show. I mean,
politically
really.
incorrect, Dennis. Yes.
Yeah, he got from a show politically incorrect. Being politically incorrect, he got fired.
You would
which
think
is
if
insane.
something would give you a stamp of not
Exactly.
The title is politically
mind-numbing.
incorrect. That's the job, is to be a contrarian.
And then he goes, you know, it's an HBO gig, which is actually really an easy gig. I mean, it really is
it's
an
once
easy
a week.
And
You
you're right.
have to do some research for that. Like
He's smart though. He likes doing research.
But he's
he has an
passionate about
interview at the beginning. He really digs deep into it, and then he has 3 people that are relevant to society come in afterwards and talk about things and whatever.
Oh, so yeah, that's why he's jealous of Howard's show, because Howard just leans on
Doesn't
an
do
ex
lots.
limo driver.
Howard
for an
used to
hour.
claim Maher ripped him off too, like the
Bullshit.
politically incorrect
Yes.
show.
That's
How
bullshit.
on earth is that stealing? That was the biggest delusion. I remember thinking Howard was delusional the most hearing that he
Yeah.
somehow thought Maher's politically incorrect panel was stealing from him because
Everything's
he would
stealing
have
from
a
him.
comedian sit in for the news and
Yeah.
comment on it. That's the same show.
All right, I'm going to go to clip number 2 on Bill Maher. Here we go.
Do you think a wife would have gotten in the way of that? Would that have shifted your focus to the point that you couldn't be funny in a way?
I guess so, but that
I feel like a total asshole. I told you this off the air for I was in a bad place
This is Bill Maher for anybody who's just tuning in.
order to have you as a guest and to really appreciate what you do. So really, I take full responsibility in us not getting along. You were very nice and kind to me. You had called me. You had said, hey, maybe we'll collaborate on something. This was years ago. And I was just a dick about it.
Well, first of all,
and I apologize.
And thank you. And that's very big of you. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate what you said to me at Jerry's party. And you did say you're going to do my show.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
let's not forget that.
Yeah, but I got to get my ass out to California
I know.
if I do it. I want to do.
You know, classic Howard always wants people on his show, but never returns the favor.
But it's
Absolutely
great. Maher
not.
calls him on it. He's like, no, you're doing my show. You're not getting out of it. You're not
Exactly.
getting out of it.
But again, I would do your show. But again,
here's the
I don't
thing.
think I'd be a good guest on your show, by the way.
You'd be a fantastic guest, and I'm going to hold you to it.
Okay.
No
I'll
weaseling
do it.
out with the I wouldn't be a good guest.
But I don't think I would be very good.
With not what we would be talking about. I would cater it to you,
Oh,
of
I see.
course.
Okay, all right. I'd be in good
It's not
hands.
going to be a quiz on the earned income tax credit.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
You idiot. Okay, so what's in the last clip for
He's still apologizing to him, and I want you guys to comment it. Howard uses this horribly flimsy excuse. He goes, does this make sense to anybody here? I was worried about ratings. I couldn't have you on. So he brags about not knowing when his number's on. Ratings from what and where? Maher hasn't done the show since 2002. When was he dependent on a guest to adhere? Even if he's reporting to Chiasano or Sabian what does that mean? I'm a prisoner to ratings. Listen to this. It's so stupid.
Here we go.
Wow.
Maybe I should go out in the fall and I could do a second push on my book for Christmas or something.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, the point I was about to make is that back in those days, look, we were both assholes. It's just that your asshole did it to me.
Right. That's right.
What?
You
asshole them did it to him.
Great guest. You would come in. We could have talked about anything. We could have talked about comedy and had a really good time. But if I did that, I would lose ratings and I would be a disaster. So I would be.
What does that mean?
My guest.
The way I analyze it was you had this, and probably still do, this enormous power. Because if you wanted to sell something, there was no place like the Howard Stern Show.
Past tense.
No place.
Past tense.
So you had carte blanche to torture people. You could do whatever you wanted to human beings because, and I was one of them. I was like, I know this is torture, but I need to plug the upcoming season of Politically Correct.
Right.
But it wasn't just me that you did it to.
I know, but it was out of something not even devious. It was a pressure to get ratings.
Isn't it nice that we're at this age now where we repair relationships, where we look back, where we can, you're doing your whole "my name is Earl" thing, where I'm sorry I did this. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
What does that mean?
Wow. No, so that is very weird ratings talk because this is early 2000s, right?
He hadn't done the show. This is the gap, Dennis. The last time he did it was the clip we just played from 9/11. And then he hadn't done the show because he was pissed at Howard not having his back. Mr. First Amendment, freedom of speech would not have his back. He rightfully did not do a show for 2 decades. 2019 is when he comes back in. So it's,
this
let's
is
say
2019.
let's say it's 17 years.
So in the 17 years, he was only on regular radio for what, 4 years afterwards?
After
3
that,
years
yeah,
afterwards?
and then Sirius.
So he's
where
on
it didn't-
Sirius. He's on Sirius for 14 years, and he doesn't have ratings. I mean, he couldn't have Bill Maher on.
And has
Wow,
guests
what
like
a
the
dick.
Bloodhound Gang and Steve-O and
Right.
Bob
Wow.
Levy and
Right.
Greg Fitzsimmons and Bruce Hogan. Those are
Anyone.
his guests at Sirius.
Anyone but
What
anyone
a
but Bill
lying
Maher.
sack of shit.
All right, we're gonna move on so we can get through the rest of the show. So now this is Greg Gutfeld.
I distilled this down to what I feel are the best things, and it's
Okay.
just 2
That's what it
clips.
should be.
And the guy, I don't know who this. I guess he was a WWF wrestler. I don't follow it.
Oh, was
like
he?
I should anymore. No, the second guy in the second clip.
Oh.
His name is like Tyvis or Pivus, and I'm sure he wears like some wigger thing, and he's got a crazy beard, and they probably know him in the chat. I don't know who this guy is, but he has the greatest rants. I don't know who he is, but God bless him. It's
All right,
in the
here we
second
go.
one.
Oh,
This
well,
is,
I'm gonna
this is the
start with-
first time. They're both good.
I'm not gonna go back and forth.
I am woke, motherfucker, and I love it.
Oh dear, he swore. He swore that'll win over the woke. He's a regular Huey Newton of the Hamptons. Stern got it from Jimmy Kimmel, his new best friend, and
Not
Kimmel got
new.
it from his wife, and his wife got it from where you get all infections, a toilet seat.
He's still the only guy talking about the vaccine.
I know.
No.
You know, he's waited a long time before he got all of his wealth, and now he's ultra lib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think him coming out and saying, if being right all the time makes me a hero, then damn it, I am a hero. That this is not, he had said in another part of this set, because I believe in the science. Well, if you believe in the science, you wouldn't be hiding out like Howard Hughes in your mansion. So it's a shame. I used to be a fan of his. For me, it was once he went from being a regular guy to getting divorced and marrying a model and hobnobbing with celebrities and talking about how much money he had. I don't know who relates to that, and I don't relate to that any more than someone who thinks bragging about themselves means that they're smart and woke. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
actually very poignant.
It's interesting that everybody
just-
has
come
the same thoughts as we, except they haven't really ever kind of articulated
We've
it.
been doing this for 10 years.
I know.
I mean, you
We're
know,
just so excited when somebody else catches on, and
we've-
it's literally 10 years after we started
We've
doing this.
perfected the hate of it. I mean, we really have.
No,
so-
it's just a hypocrisy out
Fucking
more
mess.
than it is anything else. And listen, honestly, as the chat has really determined, if Marks Friggin is telling you that I am so tired of this
I'm
damn
done
show
with
and
this.
its repetitiveness.
Yes, you know.
When you know that
Yep.
something's wrong. Like
Yes.
that to me is the demarcation for all
You
things.
know what happened?
An automaton with no independent thought or personality
None.
You know what
thinks you
happened?
have no personality.
So
Exactly.
basically, I guess everybody canceled their little Patreon thing with MarksFriggin, and he didn't get any money. That's exactly what happened.
Dorian
Because the
Morgan,
show's
I
so
gotta
bad.
give you,
Sounds about right.
Dorian Morgan, I gotta agree with you on that. It really was Opie and Anthony who started this. I have to agree with you on that. They really were the first super cynics, going all the way back to like whatever the 2000s. Yeah, we just kind
Because
of.
they had Howard's number. You know, they worked with him. They knew him.
Yeah.
They knew all the, shitty dirt on him back in the day.
Yep.
So it was very easy for them to blow off steam by talking about, here's this giant D-bag who's making quadruple the amount of money that we are, and
Quadruple.
still is so
Yeah, that's cute.
thin-skinned and cannot take us talking about him. I find it fascinating that they would. I really want Opie to
And
come
this
on the
was
show one day.
never
I'm really
played
trying to talk
back
to
in
him
the
about
day. This would be played, and he would argue with this tape, but he ain't playing this. It's just
Oh,
too
no,
close to
he's
home.
terrified
It's too
now that-
damn accurate. It's too dead on.
it. All right, so
You
let me
know-
finish the clip. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jack.
So but the thing is, though, the other part about Howard and Gutless is that he never ever truly talked. You realize he never addressed Opie or Anthony, either one of them.
Every
He
now
never-
and again, he would bring him when he
Yeah,
got
but he
kicked.
never talked to them
But
directly.
No, he
so-
avoided
right
it all.
around the outside. It was
Around
never
them,
really.
he never
like
called
that
them on the air.
Those
he
two
never,
clones down the hall would be how he would say it.
Because he's
but
better.
he would
than
never
them.
call them.
He's better than them. He's better than them, and he's not going to
Not
put them
really.
to their level. That's it. All right, let me play this final clip from Greg Gutfeld.
Essentially, to Joe's point, he flipped. He went from a populist, an incredibly popular, raw populist, to like the most remote, insular elitist.
Stern was probably the
What is that?
poster child to be canceled.
Yes.
His entire
What is that?
This is the guy I'm telling you. His name is Tyrus, and I guess he was like a WWF wrestler. If any current wrestling,
He
I
looks
love
like an
wrestling. I just don't
albino
follow it
gorilla.
anymore. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I think that's what he's going for.
He's an ex-wrestler.
He
and
looks
your
like
point
if
is,
He looks like
Planet of the Apes Captain
Dr. Zeus.
Dr. Zeus.
Dr.
Look, my
Dr. Zeus
Cornelius
shaved.
over
he
here.
looks like he should be on Bubba's show.
He looks like Dr.
He
Zeus.
should be on Bubba's show.
Oh, my Gerard
really does.
Mustaf over here. Broadest clay. Okay, thank you, Seats.
Can I bring that up?
Hold on, I was
Dr.
going to do it.
Zeus.
I was going to bring it up.
Please, please.
Dr. Zayas.
I don't even know if
Get
I'm spelling it right, but
You're welcome, everybody.
You got it? You got it?
there you go. There you go.
Oh, my.
That's a compliment, too.
Dr.
He's a good-looking
Zeus,
guy.
Dr. Zeus, Dr. Zeus.
Hey, it's Dr.
Wow.
No, he's not a blonde Patrick Ewing. Stop, chat. Stop.
Wow. All right, let's continue with
Wow.
Tyra?
Tyrus?
I don't know.
Tyrus.
Lost it already.
entire radio career, he exploited women.
Tyrus.
He had people on with the handicaps that he didn't pay. He embarrassed. He made people embarrass themselves just to be on the air.
Mm-hmm.
He made a ton of money off it. If you talk to any of the guys
Look at those cute little fleshy fingers. They're so fleshy.
that work for him, they're all broke.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're an evil empire guy like that, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm woke. I'm so woke. I'm the wokest guy you know.
Yes.
He ain't woke at all. He's the most
he ain't
evilest
woke
guy.
at
Was
all.
like, listen, if I say I'm with them, they're not smart enough to figure it out. Well, I'm smart enough, bruh. I know what you're doing. He's like, he ran people into the ground, embarrassed them, humiliated them. A lot of them could never get jobs again. And then now he says he's woke. And even when asked what woke is, he's so arrogant, he didn't even bother to look it up.
Yeah.
That's how evil he is. I'm woke.
So this guy figured it out. Wow.
I like vegetables, and I love the vaccine. Woke.
Essentially.
Wow. Okay. Okay, Tyrone.
So
Tyra.
Tyrese figured it out. Yeah, everybody's pretty much figured it out. He's a big phony.
Dr. Zeus,
Okay.
Dr. Zeus.
He follows the show. He knows all the drama with
I
Scott
know,
the
but-
engineer and
Oh,
everybody
really?
on Howard
His
TV.
ass out.
That's how he was implying. He was implying all the people exploiting, Hank and everything. That's what
Yeah,
he's all-
everybody that went on there for free and
Clearly.
basically got screwed, or what's that? A speech impediment man, or
Yeah.
Listen,
Oh,
you know what? There's no,
so many
no
of 'em.
going around that anymore. We're all like heightened. We're all woke to the fact that Howard sucks, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that
And he
that's the
abused
proper
people.
use of
That
that
he-
word.
But what's the oh god again? Fred the Elephant Boy. I mean, Fred had like a regular job, and he like I mean, he literally like eviscerated him and did stuff to absolutely embarrass him on the air. And he had like a real job.
Yeah.
I don't know how he kept his job. I really don't know how Fred kept his job.
Dan Falato.
Okay, so I know you sent me the Taylor Swift thing. Did we want to swing back to that?
It's up to you. I just wanted people know that when we sat next to her at the Nick game, his obsession with her. She's on a list. I don't know if you have the picture. I don't know if anyone does.
The picture's easy to find.
It's the picture. That's the one I used as our.
Well, not the Nick game so much, but you could certainly show that. I'm talking about the one in the studio that has a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio and Taylor Swift, the guest they can't get on, and it's on a master list. That's I don't know if it's on an iPad or something. It's stapled.
No, it's on a whiteboard. It's on a whiteboard.
It's on a whiteboard.
Oh, I don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, you don't know that one?
It was when the early days of Marcy being there. They had this whiteboard that they did a picture inside the office. It ended up on our site. And there was like all these names of people that they wanted.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they just.
I don't have that.
It's like Tom Cruise. It's all the names
Well,
you could predict.
while I play Taylor
DiCaprio.
Swift, if you find it, that's fine. So
Okay.
this is basically
It's
what we're
hard to
going to end the
find
show
now.
with, and it is when Howard was at the Knicks game, right? This is him talking about Taylor
This
Swift.
is him
at the
trying to
Knicks
get her
game.
attention at the Nick game.
Yes,
I
yes.
sent you another clip of Trump talking about how vaccinated he is. 4
Way
times.
too much. I got this too much.
It's only a minute. No, you don't have to play it. I'm just saying.
We're an hour 42 into this. I'm done after tape tie. Here we go. Hang on.
I sort of met Taylor Swift, but not really.
What do you mean?
I went to the Knicks game on Wednesday night. I went there, and in the celebrity row where I was sitting, next to us, I got to remember the name. This actress who everyone was excited
He has no
about.
idea.
Do you have the picture?
I'm so fucking
I'm
out of
going
it.
there
That's
right
when
now.
you know
It's
you're
Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried. Fried.
Oh my God.
I know her, but I can't Seyfried with her.
No, you don't. You don't know her.
Seyfried, is it?
Seyfried. But I couldn't quite place it. He looked a little like Ross from Friends. Sitting next to
Justin
them.
Long.
Justin Long, yeah.
So funny. Look who else was at
Taylor
that same one, interestingly
I didn't
enough.
really get to see her, but and Kate Upton was sitting there too, the supermodel. So
And Verlander.
Interestingly enough, look who else was in the audience at that time.
Yes.
Who?
Like, oh, it's not coming up for you here. Look who's there. It's Monkey Girl with her
Ashley Olsen.
husband.
Oh wow.
Remember she married Oliver Sarkozy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And by the way, has anybody heard Mary Kate or the other one's voice since they left
No.
show business?
Dude,
They
they're
own
zillionaires,
a
that's
very, very popular fashion house called The Row, and they made millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions.
I have to say, Elizabeth Olsen, who plays a Scarlet Witch, has had it's an amazing acting career she has.
She
and
is.
she's
She's
their
pretty
other
good, though.
sister, and she's fine. She's good,
Yeah,
and it's amazing how big her career is.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
She's great. So yeah, they were at the same game. Let's see little Swifty at the game. Oh, so cute, so precious.
Oh, I know, Shaka. You're right. So Beth never felt more popular. The amazing thing is the effort it takes to ignore them sitting. Could you imagine sitting right next to someone
Oh,
and never saying
had
a
to
goddamn
stand there.
word?
It was
They
really
should come over and say hi to us.
It's so weird that
That- you
standoff
know that
they
was a
have.
vibe.
X. And then DiCaprio is the same thing. He sat right next to him, not a single fucking word. It's so bizarre.
They should
Wow.
say
How
hi
do
to
you do that?
him.
That's exactly what he's doing.
It's what it is.
He's how old? He's how much older than everybody in that? He's 40 years older than everybody in
80.
that show.
Easily.
He's 80
Yeah.
He's
years
their
older
grandfather.
than they
He's
are.
40 years older than everybody in that show.
He's their grandfather. Literally.
Look.
Is he older than Madison Square Garden?
Yes.
That's a real question.
Yes,
Look
this
at-
one
look
he
at-
is.
Look
This
at
one he
Beth
is.
checking out what's going on next to her.
Yeah. That
I love
that
it.
sea
Eavesdrop.
monkey
You can't
look.
sit in the cool section. Sorry, you loser.
Look at Beth. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny that she's like, look at her.
They're all having fun. Why am I not having fun like them?
Yeah, he looks like Schwimmer and Jimmy Fallon had a kid, Justin Long.
Why can't I have fun like everybody?
I want to have fun.
I want to be in
that-
an iPhone commercial too.
I got. Oh no! I have a cat thing stuck in my hair.
Look, all the girls getting together.
Except for Beefus.
Yeah, where's Beefus in this scenario?
Oh, because they already left.
I got something stuck in my hair.
That's a lot of activity to avoid right in front of your fat face.
They literally, you can see they left. You can see the empty seats.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
gone down.
That's when Kate Upton and her boyfriend took their seats.
While Otis from Upper Harlem can't afford a goddamn seat in the nosebleed section. The guy who can name the starting lineup for the
It's so
1978.
funny that they came and jumped in those seats.
Yeah, because it was halftime. There was plenty of game left.
Howard left, and she jumped in.
It's like, who am I? Ken the Animal Bannister over here?
Wow. Oh, great reference. Great reference.
Well, that's the problem with the Knicks, then, is no one knows who that is in the arena right there.
That was
No
so
one knows
long
who-
ago.
Yeah, who am I? Pat Cummings over here.
Oh, look, a real model. Amazing. There you go. Wow. See,
And
so
to think,
how it went.
Wow.
to
So
think
they
they're
Kate
not
Upton-
cool enough to hang out with the I'm a Mac and I'm a PC guy.
Yeah,
I agree with Monique.
Exactly.
Less Taylor, more Rory Sparrow and less Taylor Swift at the guard. That's what we need.
So the thing is that as soon as Kate Upton sat down next to them, they started talking to Kate Upton.
Yes, of course, because they're friends.
And they ignored Beefus.
Yes. Yes, because who is she?
You know, honestly, they thought it was some rich old dude with an escort.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
No,
you know what?
Who he was.
It is a
No
rich
clue
old
who he
dude with
was.
an escort.
Yeah, really. Call it what it is.
Call it what it is.
You know, that's what it looks like.
That's what it is.
You know, they Kate Upton and Taylor Swift got up in front of me. We're taking pictures together. They were doing a photo.
They
Little,
were gone.
and I got to look them over. Taylor Swift's really good looking. Really good. Fucking,
So you figured it out. You were
Oh,
wondering.
Kate
last
Upton is
week
not fat,
yeah,
Algie.
she's hot. She's really hot, and you know, and she could sing. And then it was what a charmed life she's living. I don't know how old she is at this point. She's got to be like 23 or something.
You know, the reality is that Kate Upton and her boyfriend came in after Howard left. I don't even
Yes.
think that Howard was there when that happened.
Howard never
She was
saw
in the
them.
back originally. She was like a couple rows back.
And then the Knicks City dancers come out during a break, and they're playing her song "Shake It Off," and they're doing a whole dance number to it. And Taylor's watching them, and she's kind of turning red. It was kind of sweet because she at least got embarrassed. You know what I
A
mean?
little embarrassed.
Homo.
A little bit embarrassed. But what-
Such a fanboy. It's
He's
so
such a fairy. He's
gay.
such a fairy. He's such a-
Wow.
Someone get that guy a pillow to bite in the front row. Jesus Christ.
no kidding. No kidding.
Listen to that.
He needs some
Oh.
assless chaps.
How much of this next clip is worthy of it?
It's
'Cause-
similar to that. You don't have to play it if you don't
All
want.
right, I'm not gonna. Okay, good. So that's all we got. Justin Verlander is pitching right now, up 4-0 in Seattle, 4th inning. Okay, good to know. Absolutely, Kate Upton is a goddess. I used to see her a lot at the Rangers games. I used to go to Rangers games a lot, and she was always there. She was dating a Ranger, I think, at the time.
Josh Foster, one thing we need on this show a little more of is Seattle Mariners updates.
Exactly.
So please
Thank
keep
you.
it up.
Thank you. She's much smaller
It's
than you would
important to
think she is.
someone.
What? Who's smaller than what?
Kate Upton's much smaller than you would think she is. She's not a.
She's actually a
girl.
real model. So yeah, I mean.
But she looks like the prettiest girl at the sorority. That's
Yeah,
what she looks
yeah.
like.
Well,
She's-
that's perfectly
Did you
fine.
see that
That's
video
all
where she
right.
does the stanky leg? It's pretty hot.
yeah, it's pretty hot. And what about when she was in space doing the zero gravity thing? That was pretty hot.
Yes.
How about when she played second base for Harold Reynolds?
Yeah, it was pretty hot. Let's see how tall is Kate Upton. How tall?
I'm
Kate
going 5'8",
9.
5'9".
Although I gotta tell you that leak that happened with her, it kind of ruined me for her. I was just like, I didn't
Really?
wanna know. You know what? It's always I like to keep the mystery going.
A little bit of mystery. You don't need
Yeah,
gynecological
when
exam.
when you see videos of her pancreas function,
Exactly.
Kind of kills it for me.
Yeah. You don't need to see where the babies come from.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Brizzo, she's like one of the last like Sports Illustrated models
Yes.
that was able
Yes,
to
she
get
is.
like a national name. It's very
She
Monique
was-
works
you're
in the
right,
industry.
she
It's
was the
very
last one.
difficult to have a
Yeah, I
name
mean, good
in that
God.
industry.
Come on, Brizzo. You don't understand why she's famous?
Yeah, come
Like
on.
seriously, really?
The left one and the right one is why she's famous.
Exactly.
Come on, you guys.
means
Built like
left br- he
a
means left
house.
brain and
You know,
right
Rick
brain.
James sang about her. Okay.
And she has the the Marilyn Monroe birthmark and it's all-
Exactly.
she's very cookie cutter.
She's so cute. She is. She's like the best looking sorority sister, without question.
Yep.
Like she would be the most popular. She has a little bit of a flat ass, but that's all she's got.
That's
She's
I don't notice.
gorgeous. No. She's absolutely stunning.
I haven't noticed.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, there you go. There's your little Kate Upton shot for the day.
Oh
All
my
right.
God! Did she have split ends? Oh my
I
God!
think
that
so.
just-
What-
I
just
can't get into her.
Can't
Hair-
get into it. Split ends. Man. Sorry, such a
She
buzzkill.
doesn't condition enough. Yep, done.
Exactly. Thank you.
Done.
Come on.
No hot oil treatment. She's
You know,
done.
It's like
Would not.
Would not.
it's
Or
like
split
filling your
ends and
carburetor
Travis
with
Kelce,
gasoline,
for
bro.
Christ's sake.
Come on.
All right, we're leaving you. It's 10:37. We've been on for almost 2 hours, and that's enough. You've had
way
enough
enough.
show. You have had enough show. We are
It's too
done
much.
for the night. I don't even want to do any more like blathering about it. We're just gonna go. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any further discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so you know when we're doing a new show. Thanks.